Welcome back, everybody. This is Sam Shupe. I'm here with Andrew Hunt, ASUWB Representative candidate, and we're here to get some questions answered about what his plans are for next year. So welcome, Andrew.
Thanks.
So let's get started. Why do you believe you are best suited for the role of ASUWB Executive Representative?
Okay, so I work, I live in student housing here on campus, so I already have a lot of people that I know on campus who are actively involved in the campus, and best suited for it. I interact with them regularly, so I'd be able to, broadcast their opinions and everything to like that to the executive council, and get things done a little bit faster, maybe with their support residents.
Okay. How would you make sure that you are also representing students who, commute to campus or don't live very close by? A different angle.
Well, I usually my school schedule is usually varied, so I usually have a lot of evening classes. So even though I don't have classes generally in the mornings, I make sure I have generally my classes in the evening, or late afternoons, so I'd be able to catch people in between my office hours if I would have them. 10 hours, usually spread between the afternoons and evenings.
Okay, great. So let's talk a little bit about character. What do you see are your character traits that will enable you to collaborate or work well with the other members who are elected?
Well, I do know myself to have good administrative ability in a group setting, and I have worked well with people in the past. I've had a lot of group work in past organizations where I've had to collaborate with people and also be independent in that part of the creative process, to be conceptual and think and bring my own experience to the group.
Believe you'll be able to balance your priorities. You got school as well as ASUWB and your social life.
How to balance it? I think it's pretty easy to balance because everything that I do happens on campus. So
okay.
I don't really leave Bothell very often, so my social life doesn't really extend far past school life at the moment. So I think it'd be really easy for me to balance. It's not a difficulty for me or a challenge.
So you'd say you feel pretty connected to the campus already?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's for next year, what are the three major things that you want to get accomplished? What would be your top 3 goals if you could look back at the end of the year and say,
okay,
hey, I did those, and be proud of yourself?
Okay, well, I am interested in the students' events committee, and I'd like to regularly attend their meetings. And I have some of my own event ideas that I would like to volunteer and maybe see some of those events happen. I have a documentary film that's coming out that I'm really interested in seeing about a philosopher that I really like. And I think her ethical focus on community and work and labor, I thought was pretty a good representation of maybe the university's values and what we're trying to accomplish here as a research university. Secondly, let's see. Another goal is to get more residents involved in community events in housing, and is also kind of advertised more specifically in the residency itself to get people like actively involved that way. Just kind of facilitate that direction a little bit better. I think they're easily suited for that. They spend a lot of time on campus, and they're 5 minutes away. I think it really lends itself. And third, for myself, what's really been a struggle is lab hours, and so I like to work really late, and I just get the urge to work whenever. So it's a little bit easier to come here than go versus going to Seattle, which I'd rather do because of the bus schedule. Yeah. So yeah, maybe extended lab hours in first floor UW1, maybe that lab.
Okay, if you had to work with lab hours and there was some constraints, maybe you couldn't get that specific lab, would you be willing to work with maybe the library or something like that?
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. I was just thinking in terms of like which one would be easier to monitor.
Okay, sure.
So probably the library would probably be easier, but then again, maybe getting more programs on the library computers, because a lot of the programs that people need for their classes, Photoshop, Adobe Creative Suite, those kind of things aren't on the library
Right, I've run into that trouble myself.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, so how would you inspire the Bothell community to get involved in your activities? You say you want to kind of bring the residents together, get them more involved in some of the CEB stuff. How would you go about doing that?
Let's see. Well, in my day-to-day interactions, I probably, as I always do, I get to know people in my class and try to pair them up with, you know, events we have going on in class that would be suited to perhaps their major or, you know, their interests, and try to say, well, we do have activities here that you can be involved in if you have the time. To come on over and maybe it'll help you in your studies. I think that's one way to do it. And since I have classes here too, I mean, that's a lot of possible people to connect with. So I think that's one way.
Okay. So you say you've been here a couple quarters on campus, kind of still getting the feel for things. You may have noticed that this campus is still growing. We're changing very quickly. A lot of new things, a lot of new, like housing, for instance, is brand new this year. So a lot of things are changing. What do you think is the number one responsibility? Where does that responsibility lie in making sure that things change for the positive? Would you say it's with the administration, students, faculty, or with student representatives?
Okay, well, a small story. When I first came to this school, I had a tour with Jenny Deco, and she pretty much showed me all the different things that the students themselves, what they had wanted, and such as a fitness center, and how that was implemented through the student government, and with faculty support, I'm assuming, that would later on lead to administrative support for those things. So it's kind of like a concentric circle where you have students voicing their concerns to representatives, representatives to the faculty, faculty getting behind their students and requesting some initiative to the administration for something they need. So that, when I first came here, that there was direct involvement with the students and with the representatives, faculty, to work together and get the things that they want, like the fitness center and these kind of things. And I really saw that the first time I had a tour here, and I was really interested in that, and I thought that was a positive thing for the campus. So.
Okay, fantastic. So just one more question I've got, and then if you've got anything you want to say directly to the campus community, that'd be great.
Okay.
So how will you ensure that student voice is heard? This job, you're a representative of the campus, so how will you represent? How will you make sure that students can get what they want?
How to get what they want? Well, I mean, it's well, first, there's different ways you can contact people. You've got different forms of communication. Okay. You can talk to them through social networking sites. You could do polling. You could do random queries on campus, asking them questions. You could do one-on-one involvement where you have actual class with them, and then you have a drop-in. So I mean, with like all those different ways, I mean, that's pretty much all you can really do outside of like taking a speakerphone and like, yeah. You get
Okay. Okay, great. Is there anything you'd like to say? Any lasting, or not lasting? Any final thoughts you want to leave the viewers with?
No, I think if you've covered everything, I don't really have any last comments.
Okay. Well, this is, once again, Sam Shupe. I'm here with Andrew Hunt. He's running for ASUWB Representative. Voting takes place Monday the 17th through the 19th, so be sure to get out there and vote. Thank you.
Thank you.